Hello everyone, Simo here. I, like many of you, have been following the development of The Isle, a dinosaur survival game that is being totally remade with incredible new mechanics and graphics that we can't wait to experience. Yet, sadly, it has been more than a year and we still haven't seen an update to this popular survival sim. What happened? Well, turns out we finally got an answer to that question. Paradigm Shift, the CFO of Afterthought, the studio behind The Isle, hosted a stream on Twitch where he detailed many of the struggles that the team has been facing since entering Phase 2 late last year. The team had initially set February as their target for releasing the Evrima update, as they have come to call it. It is now the beginning of May, as I'm releasing this video, and we still haven't got it. Paradigm explains that the team had run into several roadblocks in development. Early on, some staff changes led to confusion and difficulty getting programming work done, as another indispensable programmer, Fozer, is battling cancer. A new member of the team had to pick up a lot of this work, which slowed down the introduction of the QA, or Quality Assurance build, which would allow the team to test for bugs and smooth out the gameplay and new mechanics. While it was known the QA team would run into problems, they found some seriously game-breaking bugs that took a lot of time to fix. And issues related to attacks lining up with animations, placeable nests stacking into the sky, or sending you shooting into the ground have taken up a lot of programming time as well. All of this, however, would seem trivial compared to the limitations the team would run into with their supermassive map. The Isle strives to provide a realistic world for the dinosaurs and humans to exist in, and the map Isla Sparrow was to be truly groundbreaking in size. But the team ran into a big problem when it realized the map was so big that it would require multiple servers to host at one time. This was a huge blow. The Isle has a very strong community of people who host their own servers, and this would essentially put an end to all of that. Then, to make matters worse, to even go this route of a gridded server would require extensive engineering from the programmers, who already have their hands full. So the team made the choice to rework their flagship island, which would require extensive working to fit back into the parameters of the Unreal Engine. And on top of that, the True Sky system for weather turned out to be far too intensive and had to be cut, as well as the IK system the team was no longer able to receive support for. And then to top it all off, flooding in the Midwest compromised a data center housing crucial work that would take serious time to recover. All of this is why the Evrima update to The Isle has been stalled. And I feel your guys' frustration. I mean, we love this game, and it's been a long wait, and we're dying to get our hands on the game we've all dreamed of. Which makes me happy to report that the team's taken all of this very seriously. As they continue to learn and grow, Afterthought is now implementing measures to ensure bottlenecks in production are guarded against in the future, hiring more staff, implementing redundancies in data storage, and communicating with their community, providing things like a development roadmap. Paradigm was also so kind to share with us some exciting news. While the Utah Raptor and Tenanto will be the first two animals in Evrima, the creatures coming in the next update will be the Pteranodon and Dinosaurs, which really gets me hyped, guys, and I hope it does for you too. So that pretty much covers the bigger points from Paradigm's stream, And here on May 1st, we got a dev blog from all parts of the Isle team giving us a solid update on each part of this game and where development stands right now. And we're gonna get right into this with the big man himself, the Dondi. A few weeks have passed since we've entered the quarantine, which thankfully hasn't affected much in terms of workflow. Going on to say it is for the most part business as usual for the Isle development team. He clarifies that the issue with the map size on Isla Sorna would delay the game further if they decided to make that the first map for Evrima. So it is revealed in this dev blog that Dondi is confirming the existence of a totally new map that will be the basis for Evrima. Dondi describes the island like this. As for physical properties, it's not as natural a feeling as Isla Sparrow's landscape, but rather a physical mix of Hawaiian island-style ridges and harsh peaks mixed with the spires and craggy outcroppings seen in various fictional depictions of Skull Island that breaks up the valleys and deltas that host the majority of the island's life. We'll share more renders of that island in the coming weeks, but here's the first of the images we've got to share. Next, Paradigm reiterates a lot of what he talked about in his stream, explaining his job, their intentions to be more active within the community, working on merch, and beyond Evrima, they're looking forward to a well-deserved brief break to allow the dev team to recuperate, as much of the last year has been spent in a semi-crunch time. And Philippe gives us a lot of information regarding much of the behind-the-scenes stuff we never really get a look at in programming. He talks about how even before QA got a hold of the game, hurdles in the development process started to appear. Philippe said in the dev blog, "With one man down, I had to take care of the build servers and some Steam integration, which resulted in some headaches and sleepless nights, but we managed to get those issues resolved." And then he goes on to talk about the intricacies of getting attacks and damage to sync up between players and their servers for a smooth, responsive gameplay experience. Apparently body dragging is working very well, the Tenanto is being implemented, and this will be a fairly quick exercise, as the Utah Raptor served as the basis of mechanics for all the creatures, just needing slight tweaks and adjustments to fit another animal. To me, it seems Philippe is doing a lot of very important work to ensure that we get the game and it runs well, and the creatures will interact with each other like we would like to see. We also get more in-depth explanations from programmer Adam, who has been working on fixing much of the nesting issues that we have seen come out of Hypno's QA team. Other interesting things of note coming from Adam is the mention of thermals or updrafts for the flying creatures of the game. This had previously been talked about between Paradigm Shift and Dondi, who seemed to table the idea at the time. However, now we learn Adam's working on the flight mechanics and has enjoyed a good degree of creative freedom, while occasionally getting feedback and direction from Dondi to create a pleasant flying experience. And speaking of Hypno, he's been grinding with his QA team for just over a month now, telling us that QA is moving fast finding the bugs, like this nest stairway to heaven. QA is split into 3 teams, each assigned different tasks each time a new build goes up. These teams are working closely with the programmers to ensure bugs are properly fixed. Hypno tells us that the Utah Raptor is nearly feature complete as a sole character. The remaining issues are mostly related to Pounce replication that needs polishing, and then once all Utah problems are solved, the team will move on to testing the Tenanto. Next up, we have an update from Kissin Kitten, the producer of the team, the one who controls the ebb and flow of production, particularly as it applies to the artists. Kissin has let us know that there are concept art dossiers coming for the Troodon, Oviraptor, Minmi, and Homulocephaly. Additionally, we have some reworks coming for some fan favorites like the Theory, which we have gotten to take a look at, and stands as the case study for a total look into the process of reworking an animal. They will show us the process from concept to model to animations and then implementation. And the other reworks planned that will hopefully get the same treatment include the Giganotosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Albertosaurus, Austroraptor, Acrocanthosaurus, Shantungosaurus, and the Hyporex, plus one new creature, the Megalania. Now, in terms of model creation, much work is being done on all the various critters and objects in the environment, like the new skulls that will accompany the gore piles. The team has gotten the forests and grasslands to their liking and are now paying special attention to the swamp and freshwater biomes, with new swamp trees, dead foliage, freshwater flora, and more. These details really set the environments apart. Human environments are still in development, and development of these will start with the Harbor Master building, then branch into the dockyard, and then go zone to zone to fully fill out the environments with the desired human structures. Now, as for animations, Brian, who specializes in creating creature locomotion animations, is one of the original development team members. With all of the new people who've come onto the team, Dondi and Brian have both been there since day one. Brian also goes by RR Raptor on Twitch, and he is the man you see making all of the walking, running, pouncing, turning. Every animation you see is that man. He is a machine. We learn from him that the Utah Raptor and Tenontosaurus are close to feature complete in terms of animations, with the exception of apparently 2 new mechanics planned for the future. We are also clued in here that group members will experience reduced friendly fire damage, allowing for social fighting, making fights for dominance a more drawn-out spectacle. However, this will come later in production, but right now animation is focused on making sure all of the current animations are working as intended and that they are implemented optimally. At the same time, Kissin will also be working on some newer creatures like Troodon and Hypsy, while bringing the Dryo, Stego, and Rex in line with the quote-unquote new features. I don't know what Kissin means by new features, but I am excited to learn more, especially about that T-Rex. So, concepts, modeling, and animations certainly have their work cut out for themselves, as the Isle's creature count at this point is well in excess of 50. My thanks really go out to the team for their tireless work. And now, moving on to the last couple of updates, we have Bardo, who is the 3D artist, also is known for working on Saurian. Bardo tells us that he has been spending the last month getting together assets needed to complete the swamp biome. He also explains the intricate process of creating the environmental assets. He's responsible for all the trees, logs, stumps, and fish. Yes, we finally have our first look at fish models, including a catfish and the very famous coelacanth. Bardo's looking at 4 to 5 species, which may include gars, bluegills, smaller catfish, and others being on the list of prospective fish. Now, lastly in the dev blog, we have Tapwing, the concept artist for the Isle, who shares with us the Troodon concept art. This art has a lot of cool action shots for the Troodon, showcasing its movement and behavior. And lately it seems Tapwing's also been focusing on buildings and human environments. With us getting our first looks a couple weeks ago now, the building style is said to be a mix of modern and 70s style with military aesthetics with an air of brutalist architecture. Human environments are meant to stand up to the presence of dinosaurs and the other saurian monstrosities in the Isle, and that makes me excited to see what else Tapwing will be showing us in the coming weeks as humans start to enter production in the near future. Now, to close out the dev blog, Paradigm Shift offers us some closing remarks. Now that you've had a chance to absorb all of this information from our team, we have the distinct pleasure of being able to leave you with this. We will be implementing a public roadmap checklist onto the new Isle website so that you can see what is in progress, in testing, and finally complete for the update. This process will remain in place until we exit early access and will give you guys a level of transparency into our actions and work that we've never had in the past. We hope to have this implemented into the new website in the coming weeks in a way that is easy for everyone involved to parse and manage. Thanks for taking the time to read the first of many dev blogs from us, and I look forward to the next few months. Wow, guys. That was it. That was a ton of information. I honestly feel very much at ease. Ever since we've entered Phase 2, we have been constantly building up this hype to the release of the Isle's Evrima update. This hype has been bottled up and building up pressure to the point where I feel like my head's going to explode. All the uncertainty and guesswork the community has been facing has really been bubbling under the surface, and now I feel like we can all breathe a sigh of collective relief as we've got a lot of new information to process. The dev team is doing the best they can to deliver something we can all be proud of, not just hot air. And I'm very much encouraged by this promise of unprecedented transparency. Monthly dev blogs, as well as a roadmap of progress, will go a long way to help the fans of this incredible game stay informed and not feel like they're being left out guessing about the future of this groundbreaking game. So I think that is going to be it for this video, guys. I would love to talk about all of the exciting things that we went through, but I'm sure we will get plenty of time to chat about that in a future stream. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I worked incredibly hard on this because we all really care about this game, the Isle, and I want to help show you guys the devs really respect this community and are doing their best. If you guys want to join the Isle official Discord, I will post a link to that below so you can go and see all of these things for yourself. Go through Phase 2 and see all of the new pictures, the calls and animations. Go to announcements to get to the dev blog and check out whatever crazy discussion is happening in the general chat. So thank you all so much again for watching. If you are indeed still here, this has been Tyrannical Simo. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.